Executive chef at the Indaba Hotel, Christopher Groves, has a list of impressive credentials and is the main man behind Mowana's signature dishes. From mouth-watering fillet and crispy summer salads to the decadent signature chocolate fondant dessert that he'll be preparing for Tenji.
Well, when it comes to chocolate fondants, no two are the same, and I've heard that Chef Chris's is a step above the rest. So, Chef Chris, what is it that sets your recipe apart from the others?
I'm using 80% calibre chocolate. With that, I'm adding a little bit of the raspberry puree into the mix just before we bake it. So it just gives it that lovely summer flavour, that rich chocolate feel, as well as that very nice summery flavours coming through on it.
If you'd like to create this delicious dessert at home, you can find the recipe on the Expresso website or simply SMS chocolate to 33728 to receive a list of ingredients and the recipe.
Okay, so we're going to just place our chocolate in there.
Okay.
What we're going to do is we're going to add some of the butter. And this is all going to melt together beautifully. What we're going to do then is we're going to split our eggs so that you can whisk up the egg whites, and we're going to add the egg yellows into this as well. We're going to crack the eggs, and what you want to do is just keep the yellow on one side, and then we're going to just mix it through, and that releases your egg white. Look at that. We're going to pop it into there. Right, there you go.
Oh, do
Give
you
that
trust
a go.
me?
I do.
Oh, okay. So just over,
Break it
the
there.
side?
Crack it with both fingers. Nice
Upwards,
and gentle.
as you
There
said.
go.
Aha.
Right, pull it off, and then just drop the egg yellow now into that one there.
There we go.
Add it into there just like that.
So now that our yolks are in there, what do we do with the egg whites?
All right, so with the egg whites now, you're going to blend them up to a stiff peak, which then we're going to fold in a little bit later on. So,
Aha, here we go.
and while you're doing that, I'm just going to mix in the egg yellow.
Fabulous.
Make sure that your chocolate mixture is not too hot when adding the egg whites, or you risk splitting the mixture and will have to start again.
All right, I think that is done. What do
That
you
is
say,
done,
Chef?
100%.
Fantastic.
Nice and stiff over there.
So what is our next step?
And what we're going to do next is we're going to add our chocolate mix into our egg whites, and then we're going to fold that in lovely.
So you say it's very simple, but I've already had to deal with these egg whites over here. What would you say is the most difficult part about putting together chocolate fondant?
Is splitting of the eggs, because if you get a bit of the egg yellow into your white, it doesn't whip up as nicely as what you'd like it to where you want it to be. So that is probably the most difficult part. And obviously staying in sequence of the recipe, you've got to mix the things correctly. All right, so now for me that looks absolutely superb. The texture is right, the consistency is good. What we're going to do now is we're going to place it into our molds and pop those into the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. What you want to do with the mold is also you only want to fill it 3/4 of the way. You don't want it to start overflowing once it starts to bake. All right, so while the molds are in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to mix up our berries. We're going to add some coulis into it just to give it that lovely summer feel as well on the plate. All right, so I'm just going to ask you to crush these biscuits for me. What we're going to do with that is we're actually just using it purely on the plate just to hold the ice cream place so it doesn't slide around. A little bit of a trick for the moms and dads at home. There you go. So now for the best part, let's start the plating.
So now I know fondant always has to be warm, so you have to do it pretty speedily there.
Correct. As it comes out the oven, you let it sit for about 5 minutes just to rest a bit. Then we're going to take a knife, just scoop it around it, and we're going to pull it out.
Chef, I must say this dish looks like an absolute masterpiece. The plating is fantastic. The colors really pop against the plate, as you've mentioned. And of course, I think the most difficult thing about the dish as it sits right now is deciding where to start. But I think I am going to start with the star of the show, the chocolate fondant. It really is a mouthful of flavor, Chef. This recipe, you've really outdone yourself.
Brilliant.